You meet someone and something stirs, a sense you've seen this before. Plato says you have. In the Phaedrus, Socrates argues that falling in love is an act of memory, the soul recognizing in another person the perfect beauty it witnessed before birth. Love, on this account, is recollection. Before embodiment, Socrates claims, every soul traveled with the gods and gazed on the forms, perfect beauty, perfect justice, perfect truth. Then the soul fell into a body and forgot, but not completely. When you fall in love, what you perceive in the beloved is not merely a physical body. It is an embodiment of that perfect beauty, a trigger for memory. The beloved's face becomes a window onto something the soul once knew. This is why love feels less like discovery and more like recognition. Holding the doctrine of reincarnation, Socrates argues love is the soul's clearest reminder of where it came from and what it might become again. The framework behind this is a cosmic cycle. At the end of each life, the soul stands for judgment. It is then rewarded or punished for 1,000 years before returning to a new body. 10 cycles of birth and death fill a 10,000-year period. Across that span, a soul that has been virtuous in its pursuit of love may regain its wings and rejoin the divine. A soul that fails sinks lower in the scale of being. The stakes of how you love, in other words, are cosmic. Every romance is a moment within a 10,000-year journey, and each one either lifts the soul back toward heaven or drags it further down. There is a shortcut. A soul that pursues philosophical love, love concerned not with bodies but with souls, not with gratification but with truth, wisdom, justice, and virtue, needs only 3 cycles before being absorbed back among the gods. 3,000 years instead of 10,000. In Plato's Cosmos, the philosopher-lover travels the fastest road home. Choosing to love another person's soul is not just ethically superior, it is the most efficient route to salvation. The underlying picture: human beings are something like fallen divine beings, placed in the physical world through some original lapse. We are gods in exile who have forgotten our home. Occasionally, we glimpse what we once were and what we might become again, and those glimpses arrive most powerfully through beauty. Love is the bridge between heaven and earth, the one experience in ordinary life that reconnects the embodied soul to its divine origin. This yields 2 kinds of intimacy. Physical union belongs to the body. Improving truthful speech belongs to the soul. Socrates cares above all about the second kind, speech that improves another person by improving their soul. Compare this with Lysias's speech earlier in the dialogue, which treated love as the rational gratification of desire. Get what you want, manage the costs. Socrates rejects that picture entirely. Genuine love is an effort to perfect another person, to make them more like that image of perfect beauty, virtue, and truth their soul once saw. And by improving the beloved, the lover becomes more beneficial to them. This is unselfish, even divine love, and it is precisely what Socrates does with Phaedrus. A good speech about love requires 2 things: knowing what you're talking about and telling the truth. Socrates delivered his first speech with his head covered, ashamed of its content. His third speech he delivers uncovered. He compares himself to the poet Stesichorus, who was struck blind for slandering Helen of Troy, recanted his slander, and recovered his sight. Socrates has done the same, recanted a false account of love and moved from moral blindness to moral knowledge. Speaking truly about love restores sight. Carved at the temple of Apollo at Delphi, know thyself. Socrates treats this as the central command of philosophy, and philosophical love answers it. Self-knowledge cannot be achieved in isolation. You cannot see your own soul directly, any more than you can see your own face without a mirror. It comes only through another person, and that is exactly what love provides. In conversation, Socrates and Phaedrus hold mirrors up to one another, each coming to understand the other's soul. The personality, the soul, is constructed in speech, and it becomes visible both to the lover and to oneself through love directed at the other's good. In pursuing the good of another, you ultimately pursue your own. This corrects a common misreading. Platonic love has come to mean love without passion, friendly, cool, asexual. That is not Plato. The love Socrates describes is fully emotive, fully engaged. It is simply directed at the soul rather than the body. And Socrates practices it universally. Though directed here at Phaedrus, he extends the same care to everyone he meets, helping each person construct their identity and improve their soul. The intensity is real, only the target has changed. The whole argument now fits together. Love begins as memory. The soul recognizing perfect beauty is saw before birth. It unfolds within a cosmic cycle where how we love determines the soul's fate, and the philosophical love offers the fastest return to the divine. Its work on earth is to perfect the beloved soul through truthful, improving speech, and its reward is the one thing no soul can win alone, self-knowledge, found in the mirror of another. To love well, in Plato's account, is to remember heaven, to lift another soul toward it, and in doing so, to finally know yourself.